hello. What? Not a big fan. There are my headphones. Alright. What to do today? Let's see. What does this say? What are its suggestions? Here's a post to suggest. Whoa, I did it. Got him! Put my chat right somewhere right there. Got some chat. Chat. What to do today? What to do today? Ow. Ugh.
Famous in the world of esports, it's safe to say you need to be able to appreciate a good meme. True superstardom in this world doesn't take place in big press conferences, red carpets, or glamorous photo shoots. In esports, you've got to master the art of Reddit. The combination of being absolutely incredible at your game of choice, while simultaneously not taking anything serious.
I dated a girl that went to high school with you, Shroud. She saw me watching your stream one time and she told me about the time she slept with you. Word on the street is that you've got a fat girl up to me.
Oh no! Maybe nobody in esports history embodies this more than the king of Reddit himself, Shroudy Rowdy. Clutching on the biggest stage with Cloud9 to the top of the Twitch charts. This is his story. acquired the roster, which featured Shroud as a stand-in. Shroud was a streamer who had been competing in ESEA qualifiers with Exertus Esports and Manajuma during 2013 and early 2014. It was during this era that he impressed the eventual Cloud9 roster and landed himself a spot on the squad.
The main way I kind of got scouted was I streamed a lot. Streaming was actually a good way for people to scout, I guess, because they can watch your stream. I didn't even know I was going to join the team. I just finished the regular season with Manajumas, and then a week after, Deborn messages me and says, "Hey, do you want to join Complexity?" Which is Cloud9 now, and I was just like, "Of course, yeah."
From his beginnings in Mississauga, Canada, Shroud was bred to play games. He lived with his father, who built computers obsessively, and introduced Shroud to games as a child.
No, I love games. I love computers. I build every single computer we own. And since he was really tiny, I was putting him on my lap and, let him do whatever. And then I introduced him to Counter-Strike because I like that game. And he picked up so quickly that after a couple of months, it was pointless for me to play with him.
Shroud started streaming while Pro Counter-Strike was still a pipe dream for him in 2011. He'd actually lost interest in CS during Source, but his FPS fire was rejuvenated when a friend gifted him CSGO on Steam a year or so later. Shroud was a huge fan of Summit 1G on Twitch and wanted to give streaming a try.
So I first started streaming probably like 2011-ish. I didn't have any viewers. I streamed probably for a year with one viewer, and that was myself. And the reason I started streaming was because of Summit. And I was watching him play, and he had a couple hundred viewers, and it was just how much he streamed and inspired me. He quit his job and whatnot. I was like, I want to do that.
It was a long time before
That's crazy.
on the platform.
I didn't even know this.
His pro career in CSGO allowed his stream to grow. Shroud made his LAN debut with Cloud9 in 2015 at ESEA Pro League Season 1. Shroud and C9 won the NA bracket and then finished second to Fnatic in the international finals.
They have got no more grenades. There's no kit though on Cloud9. They've got almost no time. If they die now, he just gets a shot, and that's probably going to be the round. Shroud can't do a thing here. Flusher picks up a quad kill in return.
This has gone horrifically wrong for Cloud9. They had this game in the bag at 15-11. All they need to do is close it out, and once again, they have struggled to finish off the map.
Pronex, he's going to put up a very good grenade here. They're going to walk right into it. The follow-up Molotov to burn up a little bit more damage, and Sean goes down. There's JW with the kill. It's looking great for Fnatic. They've done it time and again. 2 major championships, and here it is. They are your victors here at ESEA Pro League Season 1.
In an era where North America was considered the minor leagues of Pro CS, C9 making it to the Pro League Finals was huge. Cloud9's summer run in 2015 was big for NACS, and Shroud was quickly building a reputation for being one of the most talented players in North America.
Cloud9 looked at Shroud and they saw potential. They liked his decision making, they liked his positioning, and they said, okay, if we can develop this guy, if we give him more experience, we like how he's playing the game. But if we give him more time to develop with good teammates, those frags will come. The frags aren't the issue for them. They saw how stellar his aim was, how pinpoint and precise it was.
I love Shroud to death. I think he's one of the best players. He's one of the best players I've ever played with. Probably the best pure aimer I've ever seen in my life.
Shroud is literally like the best aimer in North America, like hands down. I feel like when he's rifle. Like, you can watch this guy on stream pull off the most ridiculous 4Ks and 5Ks.
After their ESL Pro League finish in 2015, Cloud9 and Shroud's next big finish was at DreamHack Bucharest in 2016. Once again, they were the runner-up, falling to another one of the world's strongest teams in Virtus.pro.
Top of the balcony position, they're going to try and bait it automatic, though Neo's got the first shot. Automatic's still in behind the hut. He's still not peaked on this. He's going to try and cut them out for the broken wall. He does get one, but now it's just him remaining, and he's on to 16. He's gone. Virtus.pro, your DreamHack Open champions, in a very, very convincing tournament. These guys cease to stop and easy against Americanas. Once more, they dominate USA.
During the latter half of 2016, finally won a big tournament.
One thing about dropping through is they could push to P as a result, but they want to contest Stewie, who gets one. It's Cold Zero, bomb down. Automatic in a 1 versus 1, and he's got no idea where Automatic is. He's rotated all the way to long, and Cold might get caught. He's looking down toward the door. He's in the open. It's Automatic to give Cloud9 Season 4.
C9 defeated SK Gaming in the finals of ESL Pro League Season 4 to bring a significant title to American Counter-Strike. That fateful summer of Cloud9 was capped off with a bang, and this team was single-handedly making a case for North America's potential to compete on the international stage. At this point, Shroud had been relegated to more of a supporting role than his early days of wowing on stage with his aim.
I'm trying to help those guys fucking be the all-stars. I'm no longer the all-star, for those of you that don't already.
What's up, Lemon Dude?
The goal isn't to fucking make plays and all that bullshit.
What's up, Lemon Dude?
I'll die for them, I'll flash for them, I'll fucking smoke for them, I'll do anything for those guys. I don't care how much shit anyone's gonna give me.
With the injection of youth into C9's roster, Shroud was doing a lot of lurking in-game and mentoring the new players. The addition of Stewie 2K and Automatic to the classic C9 core of Shroud, Nothing, and Skadoodle proved that an American team could play at the highest level. But the real test was competing at a big-time CSGO event where all the best teams showed up.
Damage, but not too much, and he's going to go for the fight again, making it a double. He's out of bullets, otherwise that would have been way more. Shroud and Skadoodle, and that's the end.
Kate.
9 in favor of Cloud9.
As the bomb goes in, Kenji and Henny know this one could be all but over.
It's certainly looking that way.
This is Nets.
More opportunity, but that's just gone. So
I never knew anything about this.
5 opponents, and there it is.
It's like watching a documentary on something that I only knew about 25% of the information. Didn't know it was so connected. Wow.
Cloud9 just barely squeaked into the elimination rounds at 3-2 after opening with back-to-back losses to Ninjas in Pajamas and Nadas Vincere. In the bracket stage, there were 3 North American hopeful.
Oh man.
C9, Liquid,
My neck.
and Optic. But after Cloud9 got their they were NA's last hope. Cloud9's Cinderella run continued when they faced off against Navi. They showed up in a big way and trounced Navi in a 2-0 victory.
Well, there, a lot of damage dealt. The Flamey gonna step out, wins the fight, but that sets it up for Shroud to step in and pick up 2 kills of his own. Edward, the last man alive, and it's not gonna be good enough. Shroud the hero, 3 kills.
Shroud the hero, 3 kills.
Nothing, he does it, and he just stands up. Ice cold.
16-14, Cloud9 are in the grand finals of ESL 1 Cologne 2017.
A North American team was about to play David against a Goliath in SK Gaming.
Mmm.
There was a $100,000 grand prize hanging in the balance.
Water. This stream is brought to you by water. Hydrate yourself.
Cloud has to respond, nothing saves him, and he steps up in the pit. Cloud9 find 5. He's gone anyway, Taco's gotta give up on the no, they don't see him. Shroud completely over top of him.
Whoa, what the hell?
Bomb down for Skadoodle. They have to get back in a 1 versus 3. Good shot on Fallen. Knows the gold's up close, or excuse me, Taco is rather.
This could be the final play of the tournament. Cloud9 want to do what they can as they edge towards the B side.
So in the open, even if they threw, they'd be able to push through before it ended. Base of the end as well, so Phelps could go. He doesn't even need to wait to go. They walk into it and wind up, and it's done. And SK, for the whole of the organization, will take a 2nd straight ESL 1 Cologne.
Oh man, I didn't know they lost.
Might not have lost. They proved once again that they have what it takes to compete at the game's highest level. Shroud was instrumental in C9's run in Cologne, particularly in the bracket stage when it counted most. Of course, after Shroud left C9, they went on to become the first North American team to ever win a major title. But his impact on that run in Boston is notable nonetheless. Shroud was a key cog in what would come to be America's CSGO darlings, and without his consistent...
Hey, what's up, dog crap?
commitment,
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Even Stewie admitted that Shroud was one of the things that made made him want to be a pro.
Dog crap turban. Dog crap turban. Shout out to Dog crap turban. It's hilarious.
Throughout his career as a pro player, Shroud balanced his career with the growth and development of his stream.
We're just watching documentaries today. Esports documentaries.
What could be better, right? Streamer by night, pro rifler by day. But at times, the Counter-Strike community were critical of Shroud for his career juggling act.
Unluckily for Shroud, he unfortunately had not the strongest performance this weekend in the Summit. And he got roasted, it looks like, a little bit by the community because he streams other games. Motherfucker. Doesn't just play CS every hour of the day.
When his performance waned or Cloud9 were struggling, fans wanted to see Shroudy practicing CS, not playing other games on stream.
Well, dude, mods. Like, literally, my mods, feel free to fucking ban anyone just crying about other people and what other people say. Like, I don't care to see that. I don't care to see any of that shit.
After all this?
What?
Do you still like playing Counter-Strike?
No, dead game.
When people criticize pro players for not purely just practicing whatever their sport or field or game is all the time. So at the moment, the instance that's really brought this up to me is the case where people are really critiquing Shroud over the fact that he'll stream like pub battlegrounds, whatever the fuck. The idea that, like, you know, he's doing that instead of practicing and that's why he's not some top player or whatever.
You haven't seen the CS Reddit, Shroud. It used to be all praise for you. Now they hate you.
With that said, even at the height of his career, Shroud was more popular as a streamer and personality than as a pro player. And after C9's run in Cologne in 2017, Shroud started to focus more than ever on streaming. And this aligned nicely with the explosion of one of the biggest games of the last few years. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was released in March 2017. By the time it rolled around, it was taking the gaming world by storm. A few months prior to his choice to step down from C9, Shroud hopped into PUBG. And, well, he was unbelievably good at it.
He's been running the same sub sound since then. That's crazy.
A little Counter-Strike action, baby. All dead.
I'm running the field, dude. I'm back.
Knocked out. Look at my health!
I'm back on, dude. Come back.
Can't.
Dude, come on.
One
Get
HP
out
on this
for
guy.
you.
They're dead.
You're nuts.
Jesus.
And then, in August 2017, Shroud stepped back from the team starting roster and decided to focus entirely on his stream.
I messaged Jack and I was like, hey, Jack's the owner of C9, by the way. I was like, hey, I kind of want to step down. I would love to be your guys' backup. I want to see where full-time stream takes me. It felt like it was about time for me to go, you know? Like, this whole PUBG thing came out. I've enjoyed PUBG so much, and I'm like slowly losing my passion to compete. I just want to relax, sit here and game.
During that same August, PUBG had its biggest streaming moment. The game was streamed to an average of around 100,000 viewers at a time.
That's so small now, but that was huge back then. Which literally was only like, I don't know, man. That was only like 2 years ago.
August 2017, the first month he streamed full time, he averaged just under 20,000 viewers at a time. Since then, he's never averaged less, and peaked in April of 2018 with an average of 40,000 viewers.
I'm literally like shaking. I'm trying to keep it lit. Like, this is crazy. I'm about to be at 7,500 subs. You guys, oh my god, the subs. Oh my god, I look over to my right and it's just a wall. Oh my god.
Professional esports
That's nothing now, man. But now it's way different.
Also dip their foot into Twitch to help build their brand. But as of late, we've seen streamers whose Twitch personality any fame or fandom they'd achieve as a
Oh, they're bringing Ninja in there.
like Ninja and Dr. Disrespect have never been in the forefront of any major professional esport, but have become some of gaming's biggest stars. And Shroud wanted to give himself a chance at that, at being more than an above-average pro Counter-Strike player.
That is pristine!
Could be peeking the
Dave
one
Bowman
there.
94, thank you for the 2 months. Thank you guys so much for all the subs, by the way. Idiotic, thank you for the 3 months. Motherfucker. Simon, thank you for the 2 months. Julva, thank you. Nocturnal Genius, thank you. I can't.
Ah, Shroud, why Shroud?
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Goodbye.
God, Shroud, talk to me!
Even while he was a pro player, Shroud was always known as the king of Reddit. But since his commitment to full-time streaming, he's earned that nickname tenfold.
Wait. We're not diving? Oh, watch this. Watch this one.
Other top broadcasters fill up your computer screen with music, gimmicks, and boisterous entertainment. But Shroud is just a straight-up gamer, and he's damn good at every game he plays.
Okay.
Yep, true that.
Fuck, that was my last bullet, too. What the fuck? I always pick Shroud's mind because I consider Shroud the best PC player on Twitch.
The best PC player.
PC precision. I think Shroud is just miles in front of anybody.
In a lot of ways, Shroud has become a sanctum for the old guard of esports fans to kick back and hang out. He hasn't adapted to the overly boisterous style of other massive streamers like Ninja. Shroud is just a great gamer who streams every day, and he owns that brand. And it's that rock-solid brand that he's built his community around.
Dang, man, that dude can just knock him down.
Sports fans, Redditors, and anyone looking to watch high-level gameplay and grab a laugh.
$100 to the person who takes out Adam right now.
Okay.
What the heck? He's still alive. Oh my god. What the heck?
This is a fun game, dude.
What cements his style even more is his consistent support of small streamers. He's found a way to build content out of helping people.
We're gonna host a random RuneScape small streamer, okay?
What the fuck? Shroud is hosted you with 30,317 viewers? What? What?
Type 1 diabetes and has 5-year-old daughter. Show her some Twitch Prime love. Give her that Twitch Prime fucking love right now. This is gonna help her medical bills. Just go. Just go. Just go. Just do it. Look at all the Twitch Primes, dude.
I've never seen so many subs in my life. What in the world?
Look at all the subs. You guys are incredible, dude. Holy fuck.
No matter the game, Shroud's viewership stays strong. Something that's unusual for all but the biggest streamers. Shroud has recently streamed CSGO, PUBG, Fortnite, Realm Royale, and World of Warcraft. Somehow, he's just great at every game he tries. Overshadowed by his growth as a streamer is the fact that Shroud has become one of the best PUBG players on the planet.
But I was watching Shroud last night play Battle first person. Guys, he might be the best player in the game.
Recently, in a team tournament, Shroud and another
Poop a duck.
Chad took down 9 out of 10 winner-winner chicken dinners in the event.
Poop a duck.
9 wins. Should be 10.
Second place with a man
In a lot of ways, the popularity of Fortnite has epitomized why Shroud's viewers are so loyal to him. He knows he could give in to the hot new thing, but in typical Shroud fashion, he's stayed loyal to PUBG. He's not trying to be like Ninja or ride the Fortnite wave into mainstream success. Shroud has truly lived the esports roller coaster. He's evolved from North American Counter-Strike Golden Boy to Reddit's darling right before our eyes. There's no question that there's a long way to go in esports' fight to legitimize itself in the mainstream and offer long-term career options past the upper echelon of each game. But if there's a benchmark to follow when it comes to remaining relevant throughout your career in a world where there's new games popping up left and right, Shroud is it. He's adapted, he's stayed loyal, and he's still here, growing and leaving his mark on every aspect of this community we love.
Thanks for watching. If you want more great content just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. From small LAN tournaments and niche player bases to sold-out stadiums and leagues that may one day rival those of traditional sports, esports has come a long way. But what are some specific moments we can point to that help shape the esports landscape as we know it today? To be frank, that's hard to trace and even harder to rank. But we here at the Score Esports were up for the challenge. So after weeks of heated debate here in the office, we give you the top 10 definitive moments in esports history. Okay guys, we know you've probably seen this play once or twice already, but that doesn't make it any less significant. So as you may have guessed, the world famous Faker Ryu Z outplay is kicking off our list at number 10.
We have a man on the floor. I think he's at the bed. Oh, Faker, maybe in trouble here. Death Mark tries to clean it up for Ryu. Oh, look at the cleanse. Look at the moves. Faker, what was that?
By now, we shouldn't have to explain why this moment is so important to esports, but for those of you who don't know, there was a point in time when the West wasn't too familiar with Korean League of Legends, or a young prodigy named Faker.
All aboard the Korean Hype Train, SK Telecom T1.
In a single moment of mechanical brilliance and perfect understanding of the game, Faker not only declared to the world that he is one of the best players to ever pick up the game, but shattered its mechanical ceiling.
Come in, but
Oh,
here
he goes
we go.
back to the Living Shadow again.
Goes back with the E.
The play went viral in the West and was the moment when the world truly understood that South Korea was playing the game on a different level. In its infancy, esports was primarily observed as part of South Korean culture, but in the year 2000, the World Cyber Games was formed in an attempt to emulate a traditional international sporting event. That's why our number 9 spot celebrates the origin of CG and the idea of esports as a global competition.
The fastest mouse clickers in the country are in Sydney this weekend, hoping to qualify as Australia's entrance in the World Cyber Games in October.
With the goal of bringing countries together to compete in multiple titles, the event has been heralded as the Olympics of esports and received sponsorships from the likes of Samsung, Microsoft, as well as branches of the South Korean government. In fact, in the early 2000s,
crap.
was the biggest event of the year for many Western pro players.
The WCG has grown to become the world's largest gaming festival, with more than 1 million participants in a year-round tournament spanning 67 countries.
While it wasn't the only esports event in the world to feature players from different countries competing, WCG played a huge role in turning esports into a competition that transcends geographical boundaries, and it paved the way for the global competition we've come to expect today. Who would have thought we'd be watching esports in major sports stadiums? That's why our number 8 moment takes us back to a time when the thought of selling out a sports stadium felt like a dream. While tournaments have been held in famous exhibition spaces, the League of Legends Season 2 World Championship in 2012 marked the first time in which we saw an esports event take place in a major North American sports venue, having sold out in just about a week.
10,000 adoring fans were in attendance, all to see who would be crowned Season 2 World Champion.
And though the Galen Center may seem small in hindsight, Season 2 World set the bar for future esports venues.
Good evening and welcome to the 2016 League of Legends World Championship semifinal, broadcasting live from New York's Madison Square Garden.
And since then, we've seen a number of historic venues open their doors for an esports event. With the growth of the League of Legends esports scene, Riot has begun to transform their competitive leagues to operate under a franchise model, a huge turning point for modern esports that takes our number 7 spot.
And fundamentally, we believe that all parties that contribute to an
I totally lost my track of this video.
sharing league revenues with teams and pros beginning in 2018.
China's LPL was the first major competitive region to adopt a franchise approach in 2017, while the NALCS followed a year later, which meant security and stability for the players as well as investors and team owners. But it wasn't just Riot. Blizzard announced plans for a franchised Overwatch League shortly after the game's initial release.
Together with our new team owners, we are working towards launching the Overwatch League as the pinnacle of Overwatch esports, one that all aspiring players and audiences can celebrate, strive towards, and call their own.
Franchising in esports is still in its early stages, and it is too soon to say what effects it will have in the long run. But the money is there, and the promise of stability has shown that big-time investors aren't scared to get into the space and elevate it to heights that were once considered a pipe dream. 2017 was a turning point for League of Legends' competitive landscape. By now, you've undoubtedly heard of SKT, often regarded as the greatest League of Legends team in the world. But Samsung Galaxy put an end to their dynasty, besting SKT in a World's Grand Final that denied them a 3rd consecutive World's title.
The SKT dynasty is over! All hail the new kings! Samsung Galaxy, your 2017 World Champions!
SKT swept World's 2013 finals in dominant fashion. After missing the World Championship in 2014,
There's someone behind me.
back in MSI finals, winning in 2016.
And SK Telecom continue to rule the world as they are your mid-season
I missed it.
They would also
What did they want?
consecutive World Championships from 2015 to 2016, cementing their status of being the undisputed greatest team in League of Legends.
SK Telecom have won every World Championship they have entered. They are our first defending World Champions.
The entire Korean scene revolved around this organization, who helped establish a period of dominance unheard of in any team-based esport, and players around the world strived to follow in their trail. SKT defined an era of excellence, and although it may have come to an end, their legacy remains the gold standard in esports for what it means to be the greatest CSGO may be one of the world's biggest esports, but it wasn't always that way, as the competitive scene was split between CSGO and CS 1.6 at the time of the game's release. That's why the number 5 moment on our list brings us back to 2015, a year that cemented CSGO as the definitive first-person shooter title and an esports juggernaut.
Oh my god, I'm at a loss for words right now. These NIP retakes, they're giving me a heart attack. This is some of the most crazy Counter-Strike I've ever seen out of NIP.
Valve had already shown that they were willing to get involved and help the scene grow with the sponsorship of the major championships. ESL One Katowice was the first major of 2015, and not only was the competition incredible, the event was record-breaking. Across Twitch, over 850,000 fans tuned in for the finals, a 150% viewership increase since ESL One Cologne 2014.
This is what esports is about. It's unreal. We're great for players. I've never in my life been so happy. It's amazing.
While League of Legends was still at the top of the esports landscape, CSGO had shot its way up and showed no signs of slowing down, with more records being shattered at ESL One Cologne 2015.
Oh, my neck.
Flusher looking to end this. It's going to be a third title for Fnatic. They win a third major championship in global offensive.
But its growth was not exclusive to viewership. Investors were flocking to the scene as well. More teams were being signed to big professional organizations, and leagues with huge sums of prize money were announced.
Hi, I'm Shaquille O'Neal, owner of the Florida Chief. When it comes to Counter-Strike and E-League, I wanted to get deep into the game.
As CSGO was propelled to the forefront, the first-person shooter genre found its place in the world of modern esports. Taking the number 4 spot is one of the biggest esports rivalries of all time: Flash versus J-Dog. The professional StarCraft scene in Korea had long been established since the earliest days of televised esports. But by 2007, that pro scene was beginning to fade. The next generation of stars had stepped up to make a name for themselves, but none managed to reach the level of previous players like Boxer had attained.
Boxer versus freaking Yellow, the Legends match to end all Legends matches.
But with each recurring encounter between Flash and J-Dong, StarCraft was thrown into a new age, better than any that had ever come before, bringing some of the biggest crowds esports had ever seen.
이건 진짜 엄청난 자원이든 병력이든 챙길 수 있는 그 모든 걸 챙겨왔습니다, 이영호 선수.
Flash would achieve an incomprehensible level of dominance, becoming the greatest player to ever touch a game that was thought to have been completely solved at the time.
And Flash has got to be so stoked. There he goes out, taking the golden mouse, grasping it off of its pedestal, thrusting it triumphantly into the air.
With multiple championships under his belt in just about every prestigious tournament there was, rivaled by J-Dong. A match between Flash and J-Dong was a clash of gods. The two always took the game to its absolute limits, to a point that is yet to be seen in any other esport, and redefined the concept of greatness, reshaping the world's understanding of not only StarCraft, but of competition itself. When we think of Dota 2 esports, we think of the International. And when we think of the International, we can't help but think of its multi-million-dollar prize pools, which is why the Compendium finds itself at the number 3 spot on our list. With a base prize pool of $1.6 million, Valve had introduced the Compendium for the International's 3rd iteration. It cost $10 and was available to be purchased more than once to help unlock in-game rewards. Most importantly, 25% of the Compendium's proceeds went directly into the prize purse, and through a funded effort, TI3 smashed the record for largest esports prize pool at a single event, totaling $2.87 million.
It all comes down to this. One more game, $2 million on the table. Winner, first place at the International, the ages and the prestige of being the best Dota 2 team in the world.
But then came the International 2014. Using the same compendium system as the previous year, but with added incentives, TI4's crowdfunded prize pool had more than triple the previous TIs, with first place taking
There you go.
$5 million.
There we go, right there. 10 million.
Over the years, the prize pool has increased from 1.6 million to 3 million to 10 million, 15 million, and the most recent one having just under $25 million.
Other esports titles and game developers would follow in Valve's footsteps. Riot, for example, crowdfunded the 2016 World's Prize Pool by selling in-game cosmetics, bringing the prize up to a total of $5.07 million, which ended up more than
That's nuts.
of $2.13 million.
Nuts.
War chest for StarCraft 2 in 2017 added an additional $200,000 to the base prize pool of $500,000. Fans have shown that they're eager to help contribute to prize pools in exchange for in-game rewards, proving the model to be a success for esports. Evo Moment 37. A moment so incredible that it transcends the world of fighting games. This timeless classic takes the runner-up spot on our list, and deservedly so. In 2004, there was no Twitch, there were no million-dollar prize pools, and for most people competing in video games was merely a hobby. The hundreds of attendees were all there for the love of the games, and there is no moment in esports that rivals the level of pure passion seen in Moment 37.
You know, everyone kept talking about how great he is and everything like that. But the Daigo parry was that one moment where it happened. And it happened in front of a bunch of people, and it was ridiculous.
Moment 37 had it all. Two players of different nationalities battling their hearts out for a chance at glory. The home crowd favorite against a foreign legend, locked in an intense psychological war. And in the blink of an eye, a never-before-seen display of unquestionable mechanical prowess led to one of the greatest comebacks ever witnessed, captured under the deafening roar of a crowd who had just seen the impossible made into reality. Even those who don't understand Street Fighter can appreciate its brilliance. The clip had gone viral in a time when that was no easy feat, and remains one of the most watched esports moments of all time. Moment 37 is everything that esports should be, and to this day continues to embody the spirit of competitive gaming. What started as a guy broadcasting his life in 2007 turned into the most revolutionary esports moment of all time, which is why we're crowning the birth of Twitch TV as our #1 moment.
We spent about 6 months working on Justin TV Gaming and getting quite good results before realizing we needed a new brand. And we relaunched that brand as Twitch in 2011.
In 2011, Justin TV had launched their dedicated streaming platform for gamers, Twitch TV. While Justin TV was not the first and only platform available for streaming video games, the decision to split off from the main site and rebrand coincided with the global boom of esports that was happening at the time.
Jesus, man, the only thing is I was just not old enough to be the first.
And there's no doubt that Twitch helped esports grow even bigger with its accessibility. While companies like MLG had been broadcasting tournaments on their own platform for years before Twitch, the name had become so closely associated with esports that fans would not settle for anything else. If there was a tournament taking place, chances are you would watch it on Twitch. And if there wasn't, then you could just be watching your favorite pros at home. Just about anyone playing anything.
No.
You are camping.
No, I'm
Look
not.
at you camping in the bookstore.
I'm moving.
Who told you to use this card?
Probably you.
Twitch had become an outlet not just for esports, but for pros and entertainers alike to share their gameplay, grow their fan bases, and grow the industry. Esports was being broadcast around the world 24/7 for free. In 2014, Amazon announced that it had acquired Twitch TV for nearly $1 billion. And since then, live streaming and esports have only gotten better.
Hang on, there's nothing hotter in streaming video.
Yeah, I think that's the case, and I really think that
Including everything.
Including everything.
Simply put, Twitch has cemented itself as not only a titan of live streaming, but exemplifies the ideal esports viewer experience, and who knows where the industry would be without it. Well guys, that's our list, and let me tell you, this was one of the...
I forgot I was watching this.
If you missed your personal favorite moment in esports history, let us know in the comments and make your argument. I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. If you want...
Blah, blah, blah. You know what? I don't actually know this one, so I'm just gonna watch this one. I don't know the history, but...
Whether you love him or hate him, Tyler 1 is a defining figure in the League of Legends community.
I'm Tyler fucking what?
He's been harangued for his toxic and aggressive behavior on screen.
No mana. You have no mana, bitch. You have no mana! Get the fuck out of here! Let's go!
But he's also one of the game's most popular streamers and has recently committed to improving the game.
Just make a challenger Discord or whatever, get like the top 500 players and have them all on a Discord, so when they get in a game, they just get on Discord.
Tyler 1 isn't misunderstood. For a long time, he was the toxic aggro person that his permanent ban described.
Not banned on Twitch, no. I still have that, but banned.
But since returning to League of Legends, Tyler 1 has evolved. He's more presentable, more polite, less toxic.
I got you, Chase! Don't worry! Let's go! Let's go!
And right now, he might be exactly what Riot needs to increase interest in their game. This is his story.
Tyler motherfucking 1.
Tyler 1 Steinkamp was born on March 6, 1995 in Missouri. Little is known about his early life, but what we do know is that he created his YouTube account in 2014, but didn't become internet famous until 2016.
I'm gonna be rank 1 streamer in a couple months. You'll fucking see. Not a year, not 2 years, a couple months. Rank 1 streamer, 80,000 viewers. Don't worry, please.
Prior to that, though, he was best known to students at Central Methodist University as a computer science student and running back for the school's football team, the Eagles.
You're a guy who's not afraid of contact. I mean, has that always kind of been your style?
Not at the earlier years, but my junior and senior years, I started getting a bit bigger, and I thought, what the heck, why not?
But at some point during his university career, Tyler 1 decided to drop out of Central Methodist to focus on a different path in life. While he was in university, Tyler 1 played League of Legends at a high level, reaching Challenger rank 13 during Season 4 in 2014.
You were watching a Challenger streamer. How's it feel?
But Tyler 1 didn't rise to fame just because he was good at League of Legends. He rose to fame because of the way he played the MOBA.
I'm Tyler fucking 1.
See, there are some established norms you see in a lot of high-level League of Legends players. Strong communication.
And game?
No. Only if they parent. Only if they parent. They're parent.
Okay, that's it. Here's the Fitbit.
Champion flexibility.
Put him on any champion. Listen. No. Welcome to the North American LCS.
And of course, mechanics.
Meadow Baker may be in trouble here, Deathmark. Tries to clean it up for Ryu. Oh, look at the cleanse, look at the moves. Baker, what was that?
Tyler 1, at least when he was starting out, really only had one of those things. His mechanics, specifically on Draven, were rock solid.
Idiots. You know who the fuck I am. I'm Tyler motherfucking 1. Oh shit. Tyler motherfucking 1.
Draven isn't the most popular, powerful, or even effective AD carry champion in League of Legends. In fact, he's a walking meme.
Let's admire me, Draven.
He's a pompous, blustering, axe-swinging example of pure toxicity who constantly brags about his skills.
Man, I'm good.
And denigrates his enemies.
According to LOLesports.com, 100% of you think that Draven will win.
Basically, Draven is a character designed to be hated, and his actual gameplay mechanics reflect that.
Hell yeah.
Where most AD carries are more effective the longer the game goes on, Draven's power is front-loaded. He's a terror to lane against in the early game.
But could double left turn this one around. One more hit and you can see the power. The barrier worked out. It's a double kill for Wild Turtle.
And once he gets rolling, he's all but unstoppable.
They get onto Xfinity. Who's going to get this kill? Right now the engage is still on Afro though. Exhausty looks for double it. Sneaking gets the kill. 710 bonus gold. And they've already cleared up by as well. Afro casualty. Afro also goes down 54 bonus there. Sneaky is rich.
Draven fights for his fictional fans' adoration every time he kills anything, or catches one of his spinning axes. As long as he's pleasing the fans, he gets extra gold every time he kills an enemy champion. In a nutshell, Draven lives and dies by how aggressive he can be and by how much his fans care about him.
You already know. Give me that shit. You already fucking know.
Tyler won because what fans call a one-trick. He played Draven in every game he could, but it's unclear exactly why he loves the champion so much.
You guys may ask Tyler. Only play Draven.
Maybe he identifies with Draven. Maybe he just likes the early game aggression the character encourages and rewards. Maybe he just thinks Draven looks cool. Whatever the reason, though, Tyler 1 became known for his extremely high-level Draven play.
Let's go, boy! Fight me! I'm into it!
But he also became known for his incredible toxicity.
Yeah, bitch, get the fuck out my lane! Pussy!
It's impossible to only play one champion in League of Legends. One of the aspects of a great player is being flexible, adapting to fit the meta and what your team needs from you. Tyler 1 was not flexible. He didn't want to change for his team. If anything, he wanted his team to adapt to him.
Don't cast this! Get the fuck off! And he get... Okay.
And when they didn't, he raged.
Holy fucking dick licker motherfucker! If he would've hit that one bitch, it was GG. You do realize that, you fuckboy.
Wait, he's actually fucking serious. Holy shit, I thought... That's a fucking joke. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Tyler 1 quickly became the bane of high-level solo queue for his incessant trolling and his penchant for throwing games.
I'm not gonna beat it intentionally, because I don't want to ban, so I'm just gonna, turret dive a full HP Anivia. You know what I mean?
If you banned Draven, if you picked Draven before him, if you did anything he didn't like, he'd start running it down mid. A now iconic phrase that meant running at the enemy team over and over again, feeding them kills, gold, and experience, and throwing the balance of the game in their favor.
Not my fault.
This turns even the best game of League into a miserable experience, as you watch whatever time you put into the game slip away into the abyss. But Tyler 1's fans loved him, and it made him famous.
I'm reformed. I'm reformed, please, don't worry. Psych! I'll live for it, bitch. I'm gonna fuck. You suck dick at Draven. Stick to fucking New Year.
Tyler 1 wasn't just aggressive. He was the most aggressive. He wasn't just toxic. He was the most toxic. He was toxic masculinity made flesh, and he encouraged his fans to make increasingly offensive donation comments on his stream.
Hey bitch, don't be talking shit to me, you trash Bronzy. My brother is a challenger. Hashtag you can build those.
It's as bad as it sounds, but on the internet, there's a home for that type of content to not only survive, but flourish. Fans started pouring in, giving Tyler 1 nearly 100,000 Twitch followers in May 2016, which meant more views, more donations, more attention, and more criticism.
I'm just really confused about how a player like that isn't just completely permaban instantly. I think there's gotta be something wrong with the system, because there's always gonna be toxic players.
But it wasn't just pro players speaking out against Tyler 1's behavior. It was also David Freak Turley, a League of Legends caster and Riot employee, who would go on to become one of the loudest voices against Tyler 1.
Tyler 1's not really that much of a personality, though. Like, nobody. And his only marketable skill is being an asshole. Like,
to a certain extent, Freak represented Riot's perspective. He knew how many times Tyler 1 had been temporarily banned for raging and toxicity before his sudden streaming success. In his eyes, it wasn't an act, and he hated that the community was rewarding a toxic player that was destroying League of Legends from the inside. But Tyler 1 wasn't going to be on the inside for much longer. On May 1st, 2016, Tyler 1 received a rare ID ban from League of Legends. An ID doesn't work like other bans. It's not just a ban on your account, it's a ban against you.
Not banned on Twitch, no. I still have that. But banned League.
Tyler 1's account had been banned before, but he could always start a new account and work his way back up the ladder.
New account, new me. I don't know how... Listen. I've said that probably about 20 times. New account, new me. I mean it. This 21st time. I mean it.
Now, with this permaban in place, Tyler 1 couldn't play at all, regardless of the account he used. That meant absolutely no streaming League of Legends, because the second Riot saw the account he was playing on, he was gone.
Riot, please. God damn it.
The attention, the fans, the adoration, it was all slipping away. So Tyler 1 reinvented himself.
Add magic to the list, bitch. I'm about to show you how to do the best magic tricks. World, motherfuckers.
Of course, Tyler 1 couldn't just stream League now that he was banned. So he filled the time by doing different variety streams. He played different games.
I'm fucking on fire. Play it again.
Painted Easter eggs.
For the first one I'm gonna hit up is orange. After I do orange, I like I said, I got 10 more eggs. Cause I bought a dozen, boys.
And even taught people how to cook.
If a meal looks good on your plate, it'll 100% taste good in your mouth.
So he began streaming games on a delay, knowing the account would be banned by the next time he tried to log in.
Back at it a motherfucking gear, boys. Let's get this shit.
But occasionally, he'd go live. One such post-ban live match even saw Tyler 1 face off against his rival, Freak.
No mana. You have no mana, bitch. You have no mana! Get the fuck out of here! Let's go! Get off my game. Get off my game. Get off. Get out of here, dude! Don't fucking start casting LCS games. Go to fucking North Korea and fucking cast their games. Get out of my game. You should not be playing.
He occasionally played the part of the toxic, aggressive bully that he was famous for being, but more often than not, he was trying to show how he had reformed.
I lost 2 master promos. I did not say a single word in chat. Oh my god, it doesn't reform.
And people were responding well to it.
Tyler 1 seems like a cool guy. I'd probably deal with him if he did get unbanned.
I think we can all agree if he's truly reformed, then if he'll write like a 20-page apology letter to Riot on everything that he's done, we can agree he should be unbanned.
In fact, Tyler 1 even ran a semi-pro League of Legends amateur tournament, the Tyler 1 Championship Series, featuring actual teams with serious players facing off to stream viewership that eclipsed even some EULCS streams.
MLTP! Is it TCS? World Champion!
Tyler 1 was everyman, suffering under Riot's so-called unfair, the way a significant part of League of Legends player base. Many people who are given bans are actually toxic. Many also don't see that to be the case. They see their bans as uncalled for.
Are you serious? I just got Tyler 1, dude.
In Tyler 1, that segment of the League community found their mark, and that was most evident in October 2017, when a Riot employee, Aaron Sanjuro Rutledge, went to the R League of Legends Discord server to say that Tyler 1 looked like a damn homunculus, and that he'd die from a coke overdose or testicular cancer from all the steroids. Sanjuro was later fired for those comments, but his grudge against Tyler 1 was personal. He had to ban several of Tyler 1's accounts, which meant Tyler 1 and his toxicity was giving him a ton of work. But Tyler 1's response, fitting his new, reformed identity, was perfectly reasonable.
My accounts all still getting banned. Unless, fuck. As soon as they are publicly known, they're all banned. Or they get banned.
Fans started making #FreeTyler1 signs to show during LCS broadcasts, which Riot eventually banned too. He wasn't just banned from League, fans were even banned from bringing up his name on official broadcasts. To his fans, Tyler 1 was the oppressed underdog fighting back against a broken system. Until the system finally changed.
T1 has been unbanned from League of Legends. I'm sure you guys have probably heard the news by now. And it's true. After 613 days, I can finally play League of Legends without getting my accounts banned.
On January 8th, Tyler 1 returned to Twitch with a League of Legends stream, dressed as the Adoration Meeting, crowd-pleasing Draven, to a peak of 386,000 records set by Lee Baker Soundgod. His stream was never massive, but now, all of a sudden, it was the biggest. And once he was back, Tyler 1 made good on his promise of reform.
I kept my mental strong enough to be unbanned from League of Legends, and thank you for that, Riot. Much love.
Draven may have been banned on his first game back.
That's fine. I don't think I'm going to be playing much Draven for the next couple weeks.
But there was less rage.
Tell you what I'm not kidding about, Riot. This right here. Yeah, you guys thought I was kidding? Huh? Yeah, you guys thought it was funny? I'm kidding.
Sure, his jokes could still be crass at times.
Pain is much more aid skill with the Draven. That's stupid. You're dumb. You're gonna lose.
But he stayed on the straight and narrow. No running it down mid, no ruining games, even picking champions other than Draven when the situation called for it.
You rather ban Draven over Vayne. Vayne snowballs harder than anybody in the game. What are you talking about?
Recently, Tyler 1 has even implemented an ad hoc solution to the lack of effective communication for players, inviting his solo queue teammates into Discord voice chat with him so they can actually work together as a team at a high level.
We got fighting up here!
We're fighting, chill!
Let's go, baby!
Chill! We're fighting!
Tyler 1's Whirlwind Redemption Tour came to a head at the NALCS 2018 Summer Finals, where Riot invited him on stage to play a show match with streamers, personalities, and even free.
I respect you.
Okay.
As a person, as a gamer, as a streamer, I believe we're gonna win bot lane.
Yes.
Yeah. I have faith.
Tyler 1 has left the game. This was all a prank. There was no show match ever planned.
Yeah. He was just checking that all that four keys work.
Right. Oh, the 5-man! Oh, the 5 on cue! What? I got a destroyer! This is an absolute massacre. The throw machine. 3 kills to 1. Dream team coming out on top. Crushing defeat for Tyler 1, making his debut on the LCS stage.
From Tyler 1 signs being banned at the 2017 finals to playing on stage, Tyler 1's image had totally turned around. By inviting him on stage, Riot had effectively confirmed that they supported the person Tyler 1 had become, that his reformation was authentic.
My forehead is so shiny, you're looking at a mirror. That gorgeous man was you.
Aw, wait. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
That was a compliment.
Thank you.
But one has to wonder, how authentic is Riot's approval? Tyler 1 is now one of the most popular streamers in League of Legends, thanks in part to Riot unbanning him. Those stream views are good for Riot, and bringing him on stage at finals was an endorsement of Tyler's streams. Riot has, in effect, profited off of Tyler 1's reformation, but the problems that created Tyler 1 still exist.
Yeah, I'm feeding! Fuck this game!
League of Legends solo queue can still be a toxic place, and the tools for keeping toxic players out of the game aren't as strong as they can be. Players can just start new accounts and effectively
Dude, what the heck?
players who aren't as committed to playing the game.
They're actually griefing me. No bullshit. I'm actually being trolled. On stream.
The systemic problems that created Tyler 1 have yet to be addressed, and as if this were all a reality show, we have one person who seems to know better.
Bro, what the fuck?
Tyler 1 may have reformed, but League of Legends hasn't. If you love Tyler 1, nothing is really going to change. If you hate Tyler 1, your situation is probably the same. Whether he's actually reformed or not, the Tyler 1 of 2018 is a very different beast to the Tyler 1 of 2016.
Dude, great job. Fuck it, let's play for kills, baby. No problem, buddy, got your back.
When Tyler 1 was banned, he was the physical manifestation of just about every
black and white? Well, I used to do a lot of black and white photography back in the day, and I just really liked it. So we're going to use a black and white style live stream today. And I'm going to introduce everybody in a moment here. But first of all, it's going to be just about history. Not really products specifically, but the steps within that we've taken up until now to get us where we are so we can really understand this industry that truly is on fire. I got a lot of requests asking me how we set up this type of black and white live stream, so we're actually going to be posting our course on Udemy, which will be completely free if you have the coupon code that I'm going to put in the chat. So take a look for that. Speaking of chat, Snapchat is blowing up, and if you want to snap us a chat of your next live event, you can do so at PTZ Optics and just send us a chat, Snapchat. We're starting something new where we're giving to charities every single show. So the way this works is that we give $20 every single live show to a new charity. But we'll give an additional $1 for every like and every subscriber that we get during the live show. So hit that like button and you will literally be donating an additional $1 to the Susquehanna Casa. And last week we donated $44. We had 22 likes, which was awesome. And hopefully this week we'll hit our max of 50. And every week we're looking for new charities. So if you'd like to suggest a charity in your local area that's doing good work, just email me at paul.richards@ptzoptics.com. Our president's heavily involved in the CASA, which is appointed some type of supporter that helps children in need whose families can't take care of them and the courts have to reach in. So, with that being said, on today's show we're going to have Bruce Richardson, who is the CEO of VideoLink. He's been in the industry for a long time, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say about how the industry's been headed. He's got some signed copies of the very first frame grabbers and some really cool stuff that I can't wait to see. Tom Sinclair is the host of Streaming Idiots. He's also the CEO of Eastern Shore Broadcasting. He'll be on the show today, and we'll have a chance to ask him questions.
Hold on.
Hang out with him, and he's going to fill us in on where he's been taking the industry. Joe Husson is here. I did not get a picture from him, so I don't have a slide. And then finally, Andrew Haley is the chief evangelist, oh God, I can't say this word. Evangelist, the chief product evangelist for Wirecast. And Wirecast was one of the very first products to integrate with Facebook Live. They've got a really great product I know a lot of you use out there. So we're going to have the chance to ask him a lot of questions. Really quickly, I show this slide all the time. Where is the streaming market? This is what I want to ask a lot of people out there today. I want to ask our guests. I think that we're just at the tip of an iceberg. I think we're still at the early adoption stage, and we are all about to experience tons of growth with YouTube Live, Facebook Live. I hear about new products every day that sound like they're going to change the entire industry. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest today. And how's everybody doing? Bruce, how you doing? Tom?
Very well. Good afternoon, sir.
Andrew, how are you? I can't hear you, Andrew. Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the invitation.
Cool. So I'm gonna start off with Bruce. You've got your really cool bowler hat on, and Bruce, I wanted to start by asking you. So you've been in the industry for about 30 years. You started your business in 1987. Tell us a little bit about the beginnings of your business and the industry.
Well, I came from a radio background. I was a radio engineer before I got into video. So you're right. I started with video in about 87. The industry itself, when I look back, it was about 1980 that the internet was kind of invented. It was a couple of universities that were doing a network, and they're really the guys that started it. No, folks, it wasn't Al Gore. And that was about 1980. About 94, it started going public. 93, 94, and about 95, it kind of got finalized. And that's when we all kind of clued in that, BBSs were kind of on the way out. Internet was the new thing. And it was great. I remember working with, I got invited to beta tests and stuff at Cornell University back when White Pine was around. And that was pretty much the first ever video teleconference software Back then, we were using capture cards with black and white security cameras, and the teleconference chat software was just being developed. White Pine, and that turned into like See You See Me, and programs like Pal Talk and Eyeball Chat and Camfrog, and there was a bunch of them that came out. And increasingly got more popular and more easy to do with the webcams coming out and the computers getting better. So it's been quite a huge jump in technology. We used to have a thing called the Internet Year. The Internet Year represented changes in technology, and it used to be a couple of years long, and then it went to a year, and then it went to 6 months, 3 months, and nowadays we're looking at changes almost on a monthly basis, sometimes weekly basis. It's getting ridiculous, but it's a lot of fun, and it's been a crazy ride, and it's only getting better and faster and smaller and easier. So it's a spectacular thing to watch happen, and for the younger people, it's worth looking into the history of it. It's not that long ago. 1980 was not that long ago, and it seems like forever with the technology we're using now.
Yeah, and Bruce, I'm actually showing a little clip here of the first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong. So, I mean, take us a little bit further back. So frame us up on the 1970s, before all the stuff that we have today.
Well, I haven't got a clue because I was in the military in the 70s.
Oh, really?
So I was driving a 1950s Jeep and running a teletype machine in the 70s in the Army. We didn't really have computers back then, the first computers I remember were like the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64 when we were using tape drives. There was no hard drives. We were using cassette tapes and doing basic programming. And, that was in the 80s. So in the 70s, really everything was experimental and still being created, and computers were like, it was like build a building and things like that. I mean, that's ridiculous, but yeah, I've really got into it in the 80s. So in the 70s I was still really old school technology.
Okay, well, that's cool, and I added the Commodore for you. The history.ptz Optics has a lot of this stuff. I want to segue over to Joe here. Joe, you started in the industry, I believe, at Avid, who was really started one of the early companies in this industry. Tell us a little bit about your early days at Avid.
Yeah, actually, prior to that, I was a programmer at a company that some people may remember called Wang Laboratories. Wang was very unique in that Dr. Wang invented everything from the calculator, sold it to Texas Instruments, magnetic core memory, sold it to IBM, integrated imaging, sold to Kodak. In 1985, I was at a new division of Wang that had a technology that the board of directors convinced Dr. Wang would never take off, and that was called voicemail. From there, I went into the finance industry prior to joining Avid. And when I joined Avid, it was very unique in that they had created an industrial revolution in a segment of the market that really wasn't prepared for it. Film and television editing, as you guys know, was done in a linear fashion. So you would literally purchase a moviola machine and you would, physically cut and splice the tape back together. So when Avid came out, they basically computerized film and video editing. And to be able to keep up with the rapid expansion of computers, it was difficult to say to someone or say to a customer that had a device that they could keep for 30 or 40 or 50 years in some cases, that we're bringing it into the computer age, and now you need to set aside X% each and every year to maintain current technology, because things were moving so fast. When people were buying their first Avid, within 1 year there were new resolutions or new features and obviously new boards. So I was fortunate enough to not only be at Avid at a great time, but also during paradigm shifts within the sector, right? So you went from new bus, new Vista cards to PCI bus systems. And then I was fortunate enough after that to go to NewTek, where NewTek basically took a lot of what Avid had been working on in terms of digital nonlinear editing and moved that over to mobile production. So a lot of the same channel partners and same OEMs that had been working with Avid on digital nonlinear editing made the transition over to mobile production. And yeah, I was very, very fortunate. The difference, though, Paul, was that from the Avid piece to NewTek, right, the Avid opportunity was really limited at that time to broadcast, post, film companies. And then NewTek was able to transcend those traditional industries to include corporate, education, house of worship, and all the while, everything, to Bruce's earlier point, was becoming faster, smaller, more affordable. So we've seen more of a progression from these products being simply used by professionals or within a film and television industry to all the way down to the consumer or prosumer level, where you have a lot of do-it-yourself customers, which kind of segues into a great piece of what vMix has been able to offer, and what partners like Tom Sinclair have been able to master, where they've been able to say, okay, you can purchase a turnkey system, but there's also a great opportunity for customers that really want to get involved in building their own solution and being able to customize it to meet their needs, and more importantly, their budget. So yeah, I've been really blessed. I've known Bruce for many, many years. We go way back to the old days of Avid, when we changed from a direct sales force to a channel model. And we also, at the time at Avid was providing free tech support. And you remember those days, Bruce. And then they rolled out SoftPack and started actually charging for it. So the industry has changed. The economies of scale have changed. But to your first point, Paul, I see when I went to live stream after NewTek, the sheer
We can't mute.
of opportunities
There's no.
is limitless. Ranging from people that want to stream,
Interesting.
maybe their granddaughter's graduation.
That's how it works these days.
Critical, major accounts and corporations that are using the technologies.
That didn't even mean anything. I didn't even get anything out of that.
And they rely on these because they're monetizing content, they're generating revenue. So yeah, to your earlier point, I don't see it slowing down. I see it continuing to grow and expand each and every year.
Great, so I want to segue over to Tom. Tom, you've been inspirational to some of the people here on the chat who are already talking about how you inspired them to start live streaming. You've been streaming for a long time. Before I was even streaming, I was watching your show. Tell us about how it all started and the early days, I guess, would be the first thing.
Well, unlike the rest of these guys, I don't come from a tech background. I was taking pictures of my kids playing soccer. Somebody said, hey, can you put those on a website? I said, sure. So we put them on a website. And then they said, well, could you do some video? I said, sure, we put some video on the website. My friend called and said, hey, we're doing a soccer tournament. We want to put the whole tournament live on the internet. Can you do that? I said, sure. I'll figure it out. Exactly. That was 2008. So we took a webcam and we duct taped it to a tripod and we hooked it up to an old Dell laptop and found some CDN out in the Midwest somewhere that would give us a little screen, probably a 80 pixel resolution. And we streamed this soccer tournament and just had an immense response. We just couldn't believe it. And that's when I knew that there really was something there. That was 2008. 2010, by then I had discovered Fizz Blaster and had a local internet TV show called Talking Soccer TV, where I used a kind of a 4-up stance, similar to what I'm seeing on Zoom for us right now. And brought local soccer coaches and other personalities on and interviewed them and had a good run. I guess we about 20 shows or something like that. Had a great response from it. And in 2012, decided to start the regular weekly show talking about streaming. Bid Blaster was hot right then, and that was kind of my first love. And so somebody who was Lance Willis on the tech show out of England said somehow I showed up in the one day and he said, oh yeah, there's that Bid Blaster guy. And so I took that name and applied it to the show. So in July of 2012, we started that Bid Blaster guy. And it didn't take long before I realized, hey, this not all about Big Blaster. There's so much more. All this in the streaming world, and there's also other software. By that time, I had discovered Wirecast, and I was beginning to integrate Wirecast and broadcast. Wirecast was actually coded, and so we kind of had a hybrid system. A Bid Blaster, a little bit of Wirecast, and then I said, okay, we got to break the Bid Blaster mold. So in 2014, we started Streaming Idiots, which has been a phenomenal success. And actually, at that point, I migrated all the way over to vMix, so I've had a chance to use all what I call the big three in my little world. No offense to folks with TriCaster, but in my little world of being able to do it yourself, it was Bid Blaster, Wirecast, and vMix. And vMix has brought us this far with Streaming Idiots. We have a weekly show, Wednesday afternoons, 12 o'clock. And have a great live audience, have a huge international audience that watches us, at the right time of day. And it's about a ton of fun. And this is from just a regular guy. I'm not a tech guy. I just started out taking pictures on the sidelines of the soccer match. This is where it got me.
It's incredible. Just got a little bit more time left to interview Andrew, and then in the post show, I know I want to ask you some questions. I know that everyone in the chat is going to ask a lot of questions. So, Andrew, tell us about your time as a product evangelist. I can say it.
Yeah, you did it. Nice job. And you can hear me okay, right? All right. So, I'd have to say that I joined. I've got a background in video production and media editing and stuff, but I joined the Wirecast team about 3 years ago, 2013. Just prior to the release of the version 5 of our software. And Wirecast has been around. It's kind of grown with this industry. Everything that everybody already said, from just how fast things are changing and how much has just changed in the last 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, let alone the last 20 or 30. Wirecast has kind of been there the whole time. I think they released the first version 1.0 in May of 2004, so about 12 years ago or so, and it's just, I think it's been a pretty wild ride ever since, and it seems to be picking up speed. So from what I understand, and I wasn't there, I wasn't thinking about video streaming. I was just in college in 2004, and just thinking about making it to class, right? So the idea that you could be streaming video online and that it would be this easy, and not only that you would have companies that are globe spanning beginning to throw their hats in the ring with it, like from Facebook to YouTube and so forth, that this really is, I think, probably the golden era for online video and video streaming. And I've seen, even in just the last 3 years since I've been on the Wirecast team and been kind of had a front row seat, just how quickly things are picking up speed. It's been amazing, and particularly when we, I think the strategy all along for the Wirecast team is to be partnering with big people who are out there, companies that are out there, CDNs, providers, and companies that are in this space. And we've seen that has been a rewarding practice for us, because eventually when YouTube Live was there and just getting going and just in its infancy, and before that Ustream, a huge partner of ours, was them in the early days. They were instrumental in helping to, I guess, evangelize this technology. So I think there are only more of that going forward.
You guys were one of the first people to come out with Facebook. When Facebook came out, they were like, if you want to live stream to us, you got to use Wirecast. And you use Facebook as your primary CDN. Can you just tell us a little bit about the difference? Because we do YouTube as our primary CDN, and I feel like, you got to invest in, where you're going to be streaming to. Tell us about your experience on Facebook, because I know a lot of us see the opportunity. I mean, it's huge, but what is it really like over there?
Well, so I would say I've had experience on all the platforms, and I wouldn't say you should lock yourself into just one. You should pick the one or as many that are going to work for you and your audience. We were really fortunate. Facebook was very generous with us. They actually invited us in early on in the process and said, hey, we're getting ready to broaden this to third-party and we'd like you to be one of the first ones to integrate with our live streaming API. So it was quite an honor, and we've just so we were, of course we were like, yeah, let's do this. So just a few months ago, that's when that launched, and there's been a massive response. I think people are seeing what's nice about the Facebook platform that's different from, say, YouTube or Ustream or so forth, is there's already a really healthy social network and community. And how do we share information? How do we share things we want other people to see? We share it through networks, through our social networks. So Facebook kind of had this optimal system already in place for the distribution of content. And now we're beginning to see, and just coming down the road, you're going to see much, much better content categorization, because they're going to open it up for people to say, if you have a broadcast that's all about cars or rebuilding cars, and your primary demographic is ages 18 to 35 or something like that, you can actually you'll be able to prioritize that in people's feeds that fit that mold, and so they'll be more likely to see the things that interest them if that's the type of content you're providing. On the other hand, if you're doing a whole show about how to optimize your retirement benefits, well, that's not going to be any interest to people under 50 or 65. So you want to target those people, and so Facebook's going to allow you to almost help you find your audience even better. And so I think that's the primary difference between it and YouTube. YouTube's a bit of a mishmash, all open. There's definitely a community there. I don't want to knock that. There's a strong, healthy community, but it's not one that was already kind of grown organically over the last 10 years or so, which is what Facebook's been doing. So I think that's the biggest thing we've noticed, is just the excitement around the sharing that's going on and the types of ways you can get in front of viewers that you've never reached before. So that's my 2 cents on that. And I think with going forward with Wirecast, we're doubling down on that, and we'll be implementing all those types of tools that Facebook lets us implement, so that as a streamer, you'll have more control over where your content's going, who's seeing it, and how it's tagged and categorized. So it's pretty exciting.
Good. Well, thanks for answering that personal question for me. It's time to go to part 2 of this live stream, which is going to be our question and answer section. So thank you for holding all your questions, everybody. In part 2, which is our post show, really. The show 1 is over. Our post show will start now.
What? I missed that whole freaking bit. I missed that whole thing. Well, anyway. Yeah. What the heck? What the heck? I forgot, in transitions, close that up. Where? Aha. Well, that was a solid, working on 2 hours. Dude, what the heck? And, yeah, I mean, I appreciate nobody tuning into this live stream. I really enjoyed being by myself. It was a great loneliness, and maybe next time it'll be even worse. I won't even be on the stream, and I won't come back. That'll be amazing, right? To somebody. Wow. Okay, well, extreme sarcasm aside. Oh, man. I'm so lazy. This is going to happen to be nothing, and nothing is always awesome. So, awesomely nothing, and 100% everything's amazing. Really not cool. And checking the notifications on my computer for no apparent reason, and rambling on and on, because, what else is there to do? Anyway, See you later.